Hey guys, how you going? And welcome to your 19th Svelte tutorial. This one is going to be on await blocks. Okay, so using await blocks, Svelte gives you a really nice way of dealing with asynchronous tasks with the help of promises. Okay, so for example, this includes things like loading data over the network using the fetch API. Okay, so for an example, in today's video, we're going to be loading a list of programming languages into an unordered list on the page. So right here, I've made this mini API. So going to localhost on port 4600/languages, this right here is going to give me a JSON array of programming languages, as we can see right there. Now also, this has a 3-second artificial delay, as we can see right there, just to further help demonstrate how this is all going to work. So like I said, we're going to be loading this data right here into an unordered list through the use of the await block. Okay, so to get started, let's go inside the code. And we can begin by defining a function to return us a promise. And of course, that promise is going to then retrieve the actual languages or the data. So down here, we can make a new function called getLanguages. Okay, and this one, like I said, it's going to return a promise. So we need to say return fetch at http localhost at port 4600 right here /languages. Now, if you're not too sure how promises work or the fetch API, I've got plenty of videos on both those topics if you want to check those out. But essentially right here, we can then just say .then. We're going to then grab the response once it comes back, and then we can attempt to return response.json to, of course, parse that response body as JSON. So now we can save this, and let's define a new variable right up here, and we can call this something like languages promise. Okay, this will be equal to get languages right there. Okay, so now in order to demonstrate how the await block works, we can quite simply go down here into the template section, and we can use #await. Okay, and then in the first section here, you want to specify your promise. So in this case, we're going to say languages promise right there. Now everything you put inside this top section is going to exist as long as your promise is not settled. Okay, so right here, we can just say p waiting on languages. Okay, so now inside the then section, we can specify the actual data. So in this case, it's going to be languages right here, and this languages is going to be the value which comes from this return response.json, of course in this case being an array of languages. So now we can just say right here using an using an each. Okay, we can say for each languages as and then language. Then quite simply, we can go inside here, we can make a new list item, and then we can just pass in here the language. Okay, so now we can save this and go inside the browser, and we can see we get waiting on languages. Now, when the data comes back, we can see that's working perfectly fine right there. Okay, so what happens if there is an error? So in the case of an error, so for example, I'll just close off the actual task right there for the API server. So now, of course, it is not going to work. So if I was to refresh now, we can see we're still, of course, waiting on languages, but this time, once it passes our 3 seconds or whatever the connection threshold is, we can see right there in the console we get the error, but there is no error handling happening on the page. So to implement that error handling, we can use catch. So let's go down here, and we can quite simply just say right here catch, and then we can pass in the error right there. So now we can then quite simply just say something like code. So just to output a code tag, just for demonstration, we can just pass through here error.message. Okay, so now it is going to grab the message property of the error object and of course display that to the screen. So now saving this, going back inside the browser, we can see after a few seconds we get the error message right there, failed to fetch. Okay, now of course if I was to just restart the server right here, and then we can try again. Of course, this time it's going to work perfectly fine. Now I want to demonstrate one more thing, and that is that if you were to reassign the value of the promise, it is going to basically repeat the process. Okay, so for example, let's say after, so we can say set timeout. We're going to say after about 5 seconds, so we can just say 5,000 right here. After 5 seconds, we're going to simply say languages promise is equal to, then once again call get languages. So now it is going to refresh the languages after 5 seconds. Of course, you can do something like an actual refresh button, something like that. But just to keep it simple and for demonstration purposes, I've got this set timeout. So now let's just save this once again, go in the browser, and of course we get our languages right here, waiting on languages. That is the first one. Then after 5 seconds, after 2 seconds right there, we actually get the second run, of course this time retrieving those languages, and that is basically how the wait block works. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.